What is going on, everybody? Welcome back to the channel. After Sound here, bringing you Splinterlands content every single day. We also stream right here in this channel every Tuesday, Thursday, and Sunday morning, so come by and say hello. This video is also brought to you by two different things. Since we don't do any sponsorships here on the channel, I'll go ahead and show them out real quick. The first is my music, which is available anywhere you stream your songs. It's available under the name After Sound, so check it out. Let me know what you think. And the second is a new podcast I just launched called Chasing Infinity. It is available on my YouTube music channel. Links in the description below. It is myself and ChatGPT as my AI co-host. We cover a wide range of topics. So check those out. Let me know what you think, and I appreciate the support. Okay, let's jump into the topic of the video, which is the team's DEC, or the company DEC. Now you can see here that they are currently sitting on about 250 million DEC, which is down significantly from when they first transferred the 600 million over. Now, I don't remember exactly when this happened, but that's a little bit besides the point, because we're going to have catalysts, and I'm going to get into that in a second. But we're essentially 2/3 of the way through the company essentially recirculating that 600 million DEC back out into the ecosystem. So what happens after they're done with this? What happens after they completely wipe this out? Well, then we go back to a situation where the company starts buying DEC off the secondary market and then using that to fill out the back end of transactions that involve credits. But here's the exciting thing. Here's where things could potentially get interesting. DEC is now significantly closer to PEG. And my question is, will they potentially burn SPS? Now, they shouldn't burn it when DEC is this low. I mean, that would just be financially unsavvy, right? But if you go back to a little bit less than a year ago when Rebellion first came out, I remember that they weren't quite waiting for it to get at or above PEG in order to burn SPS. They were burning massive amounts of SPS, essentially activating the flywheel when DEC was at 950, 940, maybe even at 930, right? For them, it was just easier to go ahead, buy the SPS, burn it, and that was putting a lot of buy pressure on SPS, right? We saw SPS essentially do like a 3x in that short time period between the launch of Land and Rebellion up until, maybe like January sometime. And, so that was obviously a good thing. It proved the concept of the flywheel. We got a little bit of a preview. And here's the thing. It's important to note that wasn't like them doing that, even with DEC not quite at PEG, wasn't the reason that we ended up with so much extra DEC, right? A couple of months later, with the whole ranked rewards changes and everything, they turned off so many different faucets, and probably the biggest one was the gladiators, right? So a bunch of people burn their gladiators, especially gold foil gladiators, and burn those for DEC, right? So we got an excess from that. We turned off a lot of the DEC LP rewards. So people just had all this extra DEC they were sitting on. That, they no longer had any utility just to hold it, right? And if you didn't want to do anything with land, now we had all that extra sitting out. So we're eating through those two main things, and we're slowly working our way through. The third one that's kind of a little, pernicious, and I keep talking about it, is the amount of DEC that's being minted from reward cards, right? So the overprinted reward cards, and you can even see, like today, for example, we've actually minted 710,000 DEC. It's not end of season. There's no need for this. It's not like we're burning a lot of SPS for DEC. In fact, we can even see here minted DEC from burning SPS. So over the past 24 hours, we have burned enough. We've minted 317,000 DEC, right? Or at least on 9/28. So it's not coming from this. I mean, maybe a portion of it was, but we know, and I've been tracking this and showed you in a recent video, that there's a lot of reward cards being burned. So there's a lot to eat through here. But as we head into, as I was saying earlier, right? I was going to use we're now 2/3 of the way through. How long did it take us to get there? But that kind of doesn't matter, because we have catalysts coming up in the form of promo cards, as well as the end of Rebellion. And we're starting to see Rebellion sales pick up. I shared that video with you yesterday, the data from Jeff, so shout out to Jeff. But, let's think about this over the next month even, for example, right? Or even 6 weeks at this point, because what we have is 2 sets, not 1 set, but 2 sets of promo cards, right? Because those are going to be coming out every month at this point. And the next one that we're going to have is about a week and a half away. So we'll be getting that in early October. Then mid to late October, we get the end of conflicts, which should give us some kind of direction on where the excess supply of Rebellion packs is, right? And we're seeing this number, right, the circulating number go down, which means people are opening their packs and, they're not holding them as much. But once we work through that, the recent video I just put out said that we could even start to see the impacts of that earlier than mid-October. Well, then all of a sudden people are like, well, maybe I should buy some Rebellion, right? While it's still in the store. There's still 2 million packs available. And then of course, like I said, if we're doing like a 6-week window here, we get to early November. Hopefully the Rebellion, haze shakes off. We see what it is, and maybe people start buying then. And that leads into the 3rd round of promo cards. And I'll mention 3rd of 5 rounds, right? We'll get another one in December and the final one in January. And there's also one that's kind of floating around somewhere. I don't even know when it's going to be, but Matt has mentioned that they want to do that auction one. So I don't know if that's going to be during the same time, or maybe they save that for like February of next year, because it seems like there'll be a lot going on. Even just looking over the next couple of weeks here, like I said, 4 to 6 weeks, there could be enough. So why am I saying all this? Because there could be enough volume, there could be enough demand on DEC to drive it close to peg. And not only that, if we get closer-ish to peg, or if people want to bring fiat from outside and buy Rebellion packs, right? Maybe it's just difficult to bring in a ton of capital into DEC and buy it with, it's like a 17% discount, so it's still significant. But if it's just easier without having to do the fees and KYC and all that, some people might just go and use credits, at which point all of a sudden we start eating through even more company credits, whether it's for the promo cards or for Rebellion packs. So that's what I'm trying to get at here. We could be in a position where the team starts buying and burning SPS for DEC as we get a little bit closer. But I will say this, right? Like, I think we've done a good job of eating through the excess supply from gladiators and liquidity pools. But I do believe there's still a lot of reward cards that need to be burned, and that will be burned, especially as we get higher. It seems as though, the way that it's happening right now, yes, there are significant amounts being burned, but I don't think they want to dump everything on the market if they know that we're going to get higher, right? Like, why would you give up another, I don't know, potentially like 10% move, right, to go from 830 up to, somewhere in the 900s, and just kind of wait it out, right? Slowly dollar cost average your way out if you purchased, cards below burn value and you're burning it for DEC. So that's where my head is at on this. We are entering into what could be a very fun time. Obviously, I'm excited for Q4 regardless when it comes to crypto, and you can see that Bitcoin actually was over 66K today, so that's fun because we're not even in October yet. But as I was saying earlier, with the company running out of DEC, I mean, they could start buying and potentially burning, or if not buying SPS, then at least buying DEC and helping to soak up that supply and drive, demand onto that, which could become significant if it ends up being higher than the amount that's getting burned in terms of like the cards for DEC. Now, the one wrinkle that could come into this, which is not necessarily a bad thing, right? But we know that a mini set is still potentially in the mix. And if not a mini set, then a potential core set could be in the mix. And even if that core set doesn't come out until next year, over the next couple of months, maybe not within the next 6 weeks, but over the next couple of months, we could see a proposal and potentially a restocking of DEC with the company if they put forth a proposal that the community likes and makes sense, right? Whether it's for a mini set, whether it's for a core set, or whether it's just, I don't know, something else that they want to do, right? And they're willing to be paid DEC. At that point, well, then, they wouldn't be the ones buying and burning DEC, and we would actually be recirculating a lot more DEC back out into the ecosystem, which would kind of suck, I'll be honest. But I'm kind of hoping that we can get there on our own and we don't do a mini set, and we do the core set, sometime next year, but the team is in a better position financially that they don't have to like pull forward a proposal for a future core set, because I think that'll give us a really fun time then between like November and January, where, they're finalizing everything on their end, but all of a sudden we're starting to really get the flywheel going. And then once, SPS hopefully is above a penny or a penny and a half, 2 pennies, people start burning DEC for energy, and it's off to the races from there. But that's all I have for you guys in this video. Let me know your thoughts in the comments below. Otherwise, I'll catch you all in the next one and see you around the game. Take care.